Olivia, what's up?
Not much. How are you today?
Oh, isn't it grand?
That's right. That's exactly right. It's a pretty sunny day here in Maryland. I don't know how it is there, but I'll take the sun over the rain we had yesterday.
Yeah. Well, trust me, we would take some rain.
You could have what we got yesterday and this morning, but it's not too bad. We have humidity here, so that's not fun. So I have a jacket on inside, but if I go outside, it has to come off.
I gotcha, right?
Yeah, well, thank you so much for your time today. I greatly appreciate it. I was able to screen some of the episodes, and so it was really neat to be able to see that and to kind of know what other viewers are going to get to see in just about a week or so. So that's super awesome. I was curious to start off with, how do you feel you relate to Patrick?
Well, I think part of for me anyway, the world of being an actor, you always kind of have to be in touch with a sense of play for me, and that almost automatically then links to a sense of your childlike energy. Um, and I think that that is kind of my direct conduit right to Patrick, because he makes me feel like I'm in second grade, and I'm just having fun with whatever is happening.
That's awesome. Yeah, my son's going into second grade, so
Ah,
yeah, perfect age, right? And so
yeah.
hard to believe he's already finished with first, but going into second grade. And so you're right. I mean, I'm not an actor, but I do have flashbacks of getting him ready for school of, oh, well, what is it like to be a second grader, right?
Well, and isn't that one of the joys of parenthood? It gets you out of your own junk, and you get to rediscover life through your child's eyes. And there's just nothing, for me, there's nothing better than that. I mean, that sense of rediscovering the world is, selfishly, I think, uh, one of my favorite parts of parenthood.
Yeah, I could agree with you definitely there. I'm learning just as much as he's learning. I have two
Mhm.
kids and one on the way, and so it's
Oh
a
my.
whole new world with every, both of them are completely different. And so I'm learning how to be a parent just as much as they're learning to be a child. So it's I'm like, oh gosh, yeah, you think you know everything at 7, but you don't. I know it only gets worse, so we'll just take it one day at a time. Next question for you is, what do you think is the prime message or like goal for your viewers to get out of the show, seeing this different aspect of Patrick?
I mean, we're creating entertainment, right? Um, and this comes up on occasion, the idea of message, and in particular, it's more relevant when you're dealing with children's entertainment. Um, so it's, you have to be very careful, because messaging to children uh can be so kind of patronizing and condescending, um and kind of limit the entertainment, right? I- if you let it. um and I think that there are a lot of children's entertainment will feature things that are really important, like um being loyal to those you love, and that's very important, and to be kind to people, um and to learn from your mistakes, and those are all valuable lessons. But there's another kind of, I think, lesson that I think is more subconscious, and that is it's like I realized, when I was a kid, because I loved the Merry Melodies, the Looney Tunes so much, and they were just so incredibly fun and surprising. And I think there's a message there too, that entertainment that pursues inspiration and the fulfillment of doing something really well is really an important message.
I like that because it's really hard to find as a parent, those shows that you feel have that message, right? Because some are geared for the older crew and some are geared for the younger crew. And so it's hard for me as a parent to the shows aren't what they were when I was a child, right? It's a whole different world. I have to not all of them, but have to pre-screen some of them to make sure that the messages that are being brought forward are something that I want my kids to see. Right. And so I know
Yeah.
it's hard to go back, and remember, okay, I've raised children or I'm raising children and this is what I want them to get out of it. And so I know it's really hard to, to meet everybody's needs and wants for what they want their kids to hear in a message, but you try to hit on the high points, like you said, and inspiration and entertainment, like clean, good entertainment, right? Yeah. It's tough.
Yeah.
I know, you know.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you have a favorite episode?
Well, in terms of the Patrick Show,
Mhm.
it's less to me one episode and more just a favorite bit. And the favorite bit has recurred in different episodes, and that is when we are fully engaged in a story about the Patrick Show, and then we cut to the black and white stop motion animation, and it's and they're different characters, and they're in 3D, and they're watching the Patrick Show. I love that so much, and I think I love that kind of disjointed humor. Like the first time I discovered the Flying Circus, Monty Python's The Flying Circus, because they had so little regard for traditional narrative, and they would just jump from one thing to another, and if it worked, comment on the previous or not. I love that a lot, and I hope that viewers of the show also do.
I personally enjoyed it. It keeps me engaged. Like it was a different kind of like a flash out and then a flashback type thing, right?
Right,
So
right.
it was really fun. So I'm glad that, you enjoyed doing it as the voice actor, of course, and I enjoyed
Love
it
it.
just in preview. I'm sure everybody else will like it too. So my last question for you is, I guess, what is the most challenging part of your job? I know I can't think you already hit on like a rewarding part of your job, being able to see that part of it, but do you have a challenging part that you could share?
Well, there are a few. I mean, one certainly in the world of animation is uh, physically. You have to really have good discipline with how you use your voice, because there's a lot of screaming going on, and so I'm very fortunate with that, because I guess the first consciousness I had about that was really I stumbled into a really good choir in high school and had a great choir director. So, along with being your prototypical jock, I also was learning this great discipline of singing and how to use your voice and the foundations of that. And that was really the basis, I guess, of me when I started acting was what I had learned there in terms of performance focus, but also just the process of the voice. So that's very important. And I've had to learn how to limit the potential stress when we're recording. So that's part of it. And then I guess the other part would be just, the ongoing challenge is to meet the expectations of the fans and to rise up to the level of the work that is generated by the writers and storyboard artists, because they're doing such great stuff. And I want to fulfill that as much as possible. And then every once in a while, I can play within that too, and maybe discover some little flourish or embellishment. And that's very rewarding.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate chatting with you today. The show was wonderful. I can't wait
Oh,
for
great.
all of the viewers to see it and see this interview whenever I can release it to the public. So I appreciate your time. Hopefully, you'll get some rain over there. And
Oh,
I
yeah.
just want to thank you again for your time.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
You too.